And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Sinodrill ZZ, King Snag, and Klaus John 12, who asked the question, who would win a fight, Alien X or Goku? Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, oh, it's very obvious this character wins. I will say this. I do think the answer is not obvious. I do think there's a very clear-cut answer, but I don't think it's as big a stomp as some people would make it out to be. Let's get down. As we know Goku at this point. Goku was a Saiyan, born on planet Vegeta, was basically Superman to Earth, bumped his head, lost his memory, and became basically the protector of the planet while still having a family. He has grown overwhelmingly powerful over the years. He is a master martial artist, has perfect ki control, has multiple transformations. His strongest transformations include Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Mastered Ultra Instinct, and currently in the manga, like the true Mastered Ultra Instinct, Saiyan Mastered Ultra Instinct. These put him on the level of power of Universal Destroyers, maybe even a little higher than that. Now, obviously, Universal Destroyers are not created equally, the gods of destructions. We know Beerus is a universal. It's been stated that if him and Champa had duked it out, they could destroy a universe just by a petty pissing contest. You should also note that the universes in Dragon Ball Z are much larger than standard standard universes we see used in general media, unless it's said one way or the other. Because there's a whole macrocosm to the Dragon Ball universe, and him and Beerus were, destroying that universe just by clashing. And that was in a very weak version of Super Saiyan God. If we're factoring in Ultra Instinct as a transformation, which a lot of people kind of do, it puts him on the level of like high universal to maybe even low multiversal, but that low multiversal is very generous. But still, you could argue low multiversal. Still, he has excellent ki control. The instant transmission allows for instantaneous movement. Kamehameha, Solar Flare, you name it, he's pretty much can do it at this point. I guess, as I said, master martial artist, but he's still ultimately immortal. He can still be killed. Alien X is a very unique being. So Alien X is what's known as a celestial sapien. Now, they do not live in our universe. There's an episode where Ben and Paradox, if I'm not mistaken, is it Ben and Paradox? I know Ben, Kevin, like past Ben, and Gwen go to the Celestial Sapiens' home at one point. I can't remember if Paradox. I think Paradox said he couldn't be like allowed like 500 light years of them. It's like, you're not allowed here. I'm not allowed within 500 light years of them. Paradox is just a fun Doctor Who-like character. Like, I was stuck in there for eons. I went insane, but I got bored of that, so I eventually went sane. So the Celestial Sapiens, I believe, exist in a place called the Forge of Creation. Now, this is where the whole versal debate gets a little tricky. Because on one hand, they exist outside the universe. That basically makes them outer versal in that regard. Which is higher than universal. But higher than multiversal, sorry. But there's no real clear-cut answer to how Alien X, a Celestial Sapien, affects the multiverse. If they're able to affect the multiverse. We know they can create a universe like that. They can even erase a universe. You can't see me, but you can hear it snap. Like that. So, it's a very tricky thing when you're talking about... I know a lot of people scale up Alien X to massive heights. By the way, this is my preferred design of Alien X, not that giant F-off Crimson Chin design. I did not like that design. This design, the original one, I liked a lot. Just very slim, very sleek, very easy to use. Or very easy to go with. Very easy to like. But, yeah, okay, look. For my money... They are clearly more than universal. But are they actually outer-versal? The question becomes, where did the Forge of Creation come from? And where did the first Celestial Sapien come from? That's the big question. What maybe created them? If anything created them. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered about their origins. if there might be a being even stronger than them. But as it stands, I will keep, for right now, Celestial Sapiens at the mid to high multiversal tier. And it's just the fact that where they live happens to exist outside the universe. Or happens to be outerversal. Not necessarily that they themselves are outerversal. The point I'm trying to get at is these things are very powerful. Extremely powerful. When the universe was being destroyed around Alien X Ben, they said they couldn't basically stop the destruction of the universe, but they could recreate it. Which does actually give you an idea of where the limitations of their powers kind of lie. Which is why saying they're outerversal doesn't actually add up. Because if they can't just stop the end of a universe, but can recreate one, you can start to see where the limitations start to kick in a little bit by what their powers are capable of doing. But essentially, Celestial Sapiens are cosmic beings. They are, in essence, gods. They can do just about anything. Warp, space, time, reality. They basically are walking infinity gauntlets, is what they are. The problem with Celestial Sapiens, though, is that they actually have two personalities that are constantly in argument on what actions they're going to do. And because they spend so much time disagreeing, Celestial Sapiens just spend time motionless. They just don't move. Most of the time, it takes them hundreds of years to move a muscle or make a decision. But but when Ben came along, he was able to actually offer the third personality. He was actually able to offer the tie-breaking personality. And then later on, he arranged an agreement with the two personalities to be able to use Alien X effectively. So he was free to use it as he saw fit. So there's two ways, ultimately, to look at this fight. By the way, Celestial Sapiens, surprisingly, are not invincible. They can lose out to other Celestial Sapiens. I know there was a fight between Ben as Alien X and the Celestial Sapien. They can still be injured. So they're not infallible beings. Not infallible, maybe, but not infallible. So there's two ways to look at this. Ben, who has complete control over Alien X, and a standard Celestial Sapien. If we basically look at a standard Celestial Sapien, let's look at that first. It would, have to register... First off, Goku would have to be willing to attack a stationary opponent who just isn't going to be moving. Which we know he wouldn't, but for the sake of argument, Goku has to be the aggressor in this fight for this fight to actually take place. Goku lands a hit, maybe lands a full power shot. I don't think Goku has the full-on power to outright kill a Celestial Sapien, even in his strongest form. What I do think Goku has is the power to ultimately hurt a Celestial Sapien. In fact, he could probably severely hurt one. Because he is a high universal level fighter. And even though Celestial Sapiens are clearly in the multiversal tier, if not maybe a bit beyond that, I don't think they would not be immune to... hypothetically, the Omni King is the strongest being in the Dragon Ball multiverse, but he still has guards, which tells me he could still be injured. Someone like Beerus, who is only a universal destroyer, maybe low multiversal at best, could hurt him, but that doesn't mean they'd kill him. And hell, or then again, maybe he could. That's why he has guards. So what I'm getting at here is that Goku, if he did a full power blast, tried to take down whatever Celestial Sapien opponent just standing there is doing, he could probably severely hurt the damn thing. And at that point, the two personalities come into agreement, like, oh no, there's a threat. This threat is strong enough to actually injure us, and pretty badly. Oh, we got to handle this. And unfortunately, at that point, Goku would have either exhausted his energy or even if he hadn't, it wouldn't matter because it's a reality warper and all that, it can just undo all the damage that was dealt to it and then just mess with Goku. Now, why I say this isn't as clear-cut a fight as you think, and then Ben 10 and Alien X would be already able to, use all the abilities without the pausing for argument. So now Goku's fighting a being who can just do anything. Now that being said, Goku would still probably be fast enough, easy to get in there and actually do damage. But it comes down to, is Goku going to be able to survive everything an Alien X, a standard Celestial Sapien, or Ben 10, Ben Tennyson is going to be able to throw at him? And the answer is probably not. In theory, Alien X can just depower Goku if it really wants to. I will say this, though. Erasing Goku from existence would not be as easy as you might think, because we've seen Goku resist, just in base form alone, God of Destruction energy, Hakai energy, which is literally erases your existence. So existence erasure is not a surefire kill against Goku. But I think it's enough that Goku has to focus just to not be erased. And even if he powers through it, he just does. It's just going to be a fight that ultimately ends with Alien X probably doing something to just ultimately get rid of Goku's abilities, or just overwhelm him, or maybe just warp reality in a way that Goku can't stop it. Because characters like reality warpers are not something the Dragon Ball cast deal with on a regular basis. In fact, those types of characters are actually very rare in the Dragon Ball world. So, I mean, the closest you get is magic users, and even then, most of the magic users in the Dragon Ball world are not that strong comparatively to like just raw ki and power. But I mean, there's definitely some individuals like Moro. When we get to the Moro arc, hopefully come in next year, that is a character who does have some mysticism to him and some weird abilities. That is a legit, straight out threat. But they're far and few between. They're not the most prevalent in the Dragon Ball universe. Babidi was a magic user. We had a couple magic users, if I'm not mistaken, or illusion users in the Tournament of Power. But ultimately, I do think Alien X would take the win on both occasions. I just think Goku does not go down as easy as people might make it out to be. But this is a character that just isn't someone Goku is designed to take down. There are characters you have a strong chance against. There are characters you don't. This is a character that Goku doesn't necessarily have the best likelihood against. Now, believe it or not, he would actually stand a better chance against the Ben 10 version of Alien X, despite the fact Ben has complete control, because Ben is not someone who's going to outright try to kill Goku, whereas Alien X and Celestial Sapien might just try to erase his existence on the spot. So the fact that he wouldn't means that the fight could be drawn out a lot longer, and Goku would actually get an edge at points. Still, if Ben's smart, he can just reverse any damage that Goku does to him. So my money would still be on Alien X, Ben 10, or otherwise. Or Ben Tennyson, or otherwise. But that is just my opinion. What do you think in the comments below? Do you think Alien X takes it all the time? Or do you think there are plausible ways that Goku could win? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, I'll see you for the next one. Have a good one.